What's up? This is Justin with the Lead Mindset Podcast here with my boy Kevin to tell us exactly what's going on and how he stays exactly where he's at through the process. It's all about going through, keeping the mindset exactly where you need it to be, and elevating and growing every single day. So, take it away, brother. What exactly do you do and why do you do it?
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I have a rabbit hole. My main focus is real estate. I help buyers and sellers get in a better position, whether that's financially or more time. I help people do investments on and off market. And then right now, one of the biggest and most exciting projects me and my family have going on, we have a landscaping and an HVAC company that we're putting a lot of time and effort into. So that's exciting. So a little bit of everything going on.
I like it. So, the main concept of what we do here, obviously we've done this before. We've had some mishaps where we've actually recorded. We weren't able to put it out because, well, we didn't hit the record button. But we made sure today. So, with that being said, when you get stuck in the course and the rut of situations, and what we're trying to put this message out to everybody is how we stay moving along in the difficulties of time. The dilemmas that we face, what keep us moving through. So what exactly keeps you moving through the process when you face those times of adversity?
You know, a lot of people, I feel like a big go-to for people is your reading, your time to meditate, and there's a lot of factors that do help, but the biggest factor I've seen that helps the most in my life is your support system. Man, like without a good support system, I feel like all these obstacles we face on a daily would just crush me. But because I have good people around me like yourself, we talk about our struggles. I got my broker, I got my team, I got my media team. I got so many people around me that are my support system that anytime I have a struggle and I kind of weaken, they always motivate me to go forward. They always like remind me why we're doing what we're doing, what's our why. And so without my support system, I wouldn't be here. So that's probably what I would give the most credit to right now.
So a lot of that goes back to proximity. That's what we preach on that. It's spirit, mind, body, and environment. Environment is key in what we do. And I think a lot of people don't see that, and then they kind of lose the track in that path because of the individuals that are around them. Rather than them building them up, they're pulling them back and holding them back. So that is a key in moving in the aspects. What exactly got you into the real estate space, and why the real estate space?
Man, so I tried a lot of things. So I come from a family that's been in real estate for 20 years. So you would think it's kind of obvious for me to just immediately fall in there, but I always wanted to kind of do my own thing. So I tried selling insurance. I tried personal training clients for a couple years. I tried stocks. I day traded and did crypto for about a year. Tried a couple different things. Even went to college. Let's see if I could just get a regular job, and nothing really clicked. And then so 1 year after nothing was clicking, I was just like, man, my family's been doing real estate for so long. I love people. I love sales. I love to kind of be flexible with my time every day to have a new adventure. So I was like, let's go try this out. And it wasn't that easy at first. I took my real estate license exam 4 or 5 times. And on that 4th or 5th, I finally passed it. But after I passed that test and that license, everything just clicked. I loved helping people. I loved providing a service through real estate for people. So that's kind of, and then I found more purpose as I went through, but it wasn't that easy to say, man, I found what I wanted to do or what my purpose was for the rest of my life.
100%. I understand that. That's why myself is involved still into this day in real estate, is I love seeing people go home and seeing people and knowing they're going to lay their hand and create memories. That is something you will never ever replace as much as you try. So that being said, let's take it to the next piece. What stops a good man from becoming great?
Ooh. Lack of focus. Lack of focus, and this is something that not just weak men or strong men struggle. I feel like this is something that comes and goes during our life. So you'll have seasons where you're losing focus, and that's what's going to stop you from being great. That lack of focus is going to have cracks in the foundation and let leaks go through if you're not focused. But when a man is focused, bro, a man can do anything and everything when he's focused.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. That is proximity. We go back to proximity. The individuals that we're around will help you carry you through that, which is also a reason that I know we've spoke on this before, is the development of my own strategy, and that's the win strategy. And that what isn't negotiable in your day-to-day. So in your day-to-day, when you are going through, how do you go about, how do you determine what your win is? What is the strategy that you're following?
Yeah, so of course, always one win a day. one win a day is good enough for you not to beat yourself up and to end your day by saying, man, I pushed the needle forward by accomplishing at least one thing. But my biggest thing is three small goals throughout the day, whether it's 1 hour of follow-ups with past clients, or one hour of connects with like friends and colleagues and business owners, or whatever it might be. 3 goals per day, because I feel like myself first, but a lot of other people also struggle with, they write 10 things down to accomplish in one day.
100%.
9 times out of 10, you're not getting all 10 things done. So that's what brought me back to focus, and just the focus principle of it, and being like 3 goals per day is enough for you to push the needle forward.
Do you have a certain way that you start your day?
Yeah. So I at first, last year, I thought starting my mornings was just wake up, foot on the gas from the moment we wake up, and it was like, nah, I don't think that's the most efficient thing to do. So this year, I've been starting my mornings a little slower. Sometimes I'll do my run in the morning or my workout, or maybe I'll just push it into like my midday, but always first with my devotional. Right now I'm in Proverbs, so just quick 10-15 minutes of just reading to be able to get your mind right to start the day. Good breakfast, and then make a plan for the day. What is it that I want to do today? What's on the agenda? What do we have to get done? Or meetings, or what's on the schedule for today? So a little bit of planning before actually starting the day.
See, and this is where I express on my side of things. Everybody has to figure out the formula that works for them. It's all about having a system in place that allows you to move forward. And where I will put and add to this is my schedule, and the way my routine works is completely different, 100%. The way I start my day is I give my thanks to the Creator right off the bat. Once that moves through, I am waiting 45 minutes. I am not touching my phone. I am not diving into social media. I'm not getting into anything outside of that, other than hydration. I'm starting to drink my water and get my electrolytes in. But the day prior is actually when I plan for the day following.
Yes.
So some people don't do that, and that's okay. You just have to figure out what works for you. But the other side of that is once I give my thanks and I start moving through, then I go to my affirmations. I do my verbal affirmations in my head initially, and as I'm making my bed, and once I'm out, that is when I move into the verbal affirmations in the world. Then I start executing what goes through. That making of the bed to me, after I wake up, obviously, is a major win of the day. That is a micro win for me. So as simple as getting out of the bed, being able to move around, touching and feeling, and having the ability to go from bed to the bathroom, man, that's a win in itself. And the small things, when you appreciate the smaller things, become the greater things. So I think that's some of the things that many people lose sight of, and that's what we're here giving this message to help you move forward, because everybody needs a little bit of help.
I would double down on that principle you mentioned of planning for, let's say it's Monday, you're planning for your Monday, Sunday night. Something that a phrase I've been implementing in my head a lot to be able to kind of implement that principle more into my lifestyle is my morning starts the night before. The way I prepare the night before. So definitely, I would recommend to anyone like watching this, definitely plan your day before the night before, for sure. And then we're all humans, we all fall. If there's a day like myself sometimes where you forget or you don't get a chance to plan the night before, make sure you do it in the morning before starting your day, so you're at 10 out of 10 ready to go.
Well, and that's the thing I think that allows us to be structured is a system. You have to have a system. That's one of the biggest things that you'll hear me say over and over and over and over again. What makes it work? It's the systems that you implement on your day-to-day. And as much as you think that there's going to Tennessee without getting there, without a roadmap, it's not happening. It's the same thing in your day-to-day life. This is why I use the WIN strategy, and this is personally something that I've developed. It's a roadmap. Winning is not a destination. It is a roadmap to get to where you're trying to go. And without that plan in the middle, where are you going? Nobody knows. Put that plan into place.
Tell me about that WIN strategy. Break that down for me. Give me where it came from. How are you implementing it in your life and the people's lives that you're working with?
So myself, I was going through, sitting on the edge of my bed like I normally do, doing a normal recap session, looking at some of the foundational aspects of what I'm, going through in life, and something just popped into my brain, and it was like, look, man, you're looking to win. And then I'm like, well, what is winning? Then I'm start going through like all the foundational changes that I've made, and I'm like, the correlation that I made in the two is what the acronym stands for. It's I've decided that these items in my day-to-day are non-negotiable. So we start my day out with, prayer right off the bat, followed by affirmations and the 32 ounces of water with electrolytes. I make my bed. All of these things very regimented. There's systems in place. There's a reason that they all work. And then when we go to the end of the day, The very same thing is played backwards. So it's my affirmations. Obviously, I can't make my bed, so that's taken out. But it's brushing the teeth and going through the things, saying what I'm grateful for, but actually feeling that I'm grateful in the process. So what that allowed me to do is to go through my day-to-day and start looking at everything. If it doesn't fall in the growth aspect of things, if it doesn't fall in my family aspect of things, or if it's extremely negative, we're cutting it out. If it's something that you feel is not essential to your lifestyle and what you're doing, and it's something you're on the fence about and you're kind of like, maybe it's a negotiable, maybe it's not, you probably should just throw it away because it's probably not benefiting you in any way, shape, or form. So gym is another thing that's extremely essential.
Oh, yeah.
And then the time that we spend with our family, I might not get a ton of time personally with my family at home, but the time I'm there is quality.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Right.
So it was me just going through the process of my day-to-day, and I figure out, systems work for me, and it's just something that I'm like, okay, I can help resonate with other people by implementing this. So it's, and what your win strategy is, it's going to be completely than what mine is. It's going to be completely different. So, and that's okay, because that's what makes us individuals, but that's also what keeps us going in the path. What God's purpose is for you is not what God's purpose is for me.
Right.
We might be similar, but only you know what that is with the Creator.
Right.
We can only help get you to that point. And that's why we put this messaging out there for you to be able to implement it into yourself. So that's why I use the win strategy. There's a lot more intricacies, but if I went through my day-to-day on what I do on a day-to-day routine, we'd be here all day long.
Yeah.
So,
you watch the sun go down.
Yep. But just like this, we make sure that there's something in the day, like you're talking about, let's be honest, when we're in sales and we do cold calls, we don't want to do cold calls. But it's a fact that you push through it.
Right.
We know an hour of the day, 2 hours of the day, this is what we're focused on. Let's get out there, making connections and creating the relationships. And that's what it takes. It's that uncomfortable side.
Right.
But it's part of the regimen. You get through it. You got to put yourself into places that are uncomfortable in order to continue to push forward. But these situations like now, these are non-negotiable moments. We're building relationships. We're getting the word out there. What do we do? What services can we provide? His contact and his content and who he pushes and his audience is completely different from mine.
Right.
So how do we benefit one another? We sit in front of this and we do this. Obviously, me being in the real estate space and the coaching aspect of things, it's the same thing. But where do we get the best part out of life? It's winning. But it's not just us winning. It's seeing our people win. It's seeing the circle win. It's seeing other people move through the process that, especially if they came in with the scarce mindset of I can't do this, to see them at the end of it and they're like, man, look what we just achieved. That is where it's at. That is better than anything that you will ever feel throughout life. And once you find your purpose, just run it. Don't let anybody tell you no. Like the only thing that stops you is you.
Literally, once you get that feeling, like this is exactly what I'm doing, like nothing can stop you.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
And sometimes the pieces will just even fall into place so naturally and more organic and just smoother by themselves because you're just walking in your purpose.
Well, I'm gonna segue to that because it's actually something that I was talking to an individual about. We're talking about manifestation and kind of going down the rabbit hole of that side of it. And I won't go too far into it, but I think what a lot of people need to realize if you're in the manifestation spot and on the living by faith, you have to live by faith in this. You cannot say and act and ask because it's a need. It has to be, it's already happened. You have to almost convince yourself that this is it. It's already done. The plan is here. Now you just have to follow through and execute. When people get stuck in that circle of they're continuing to see these blockades or the adversity that they're trying to escape from, in your opinion, what's holding them there?
What's holding them there?
Why do they keep seeing what they're, quote unquote, we'll say, what they're manifesting to get out of?
Yeah.
What's keeping them in that loop?
What are you sacrificing for it? Are you sacrificing your time to relax, the time you spend, even if it's just 1 day a week, the time you spend weekly to go hang out with people or just I don't know, like in lack for better terms, goof off. Like what are you sacrificing in order to get to where you got to get through? Because I feel like a lot of people constantly talk about the manifesting, oh, I want this, I want that, and just saying, I'm going to put out into the world, into an existence, and walk by faith that this is going to happen or I'm going to get there. But what are you doing in real world? What do your actions look like? What are you sacrificing? Like, you have to sacrifice. If you're trying to build a business and you're working, let's just say, because at the time I was working 40 hours a week, I couldn't build my business, well, working 40 hours a week, I had to sacrifice living below my means in order to work less, in order to give more time into my business. Or I had to take the money I was making from my job and then stop spending it on going out or these adventures or these experiences and take that money and pour it into my business. There's sacrifices you need to do that are real in order to get to those things you're manifesting and walking in faith in.
I agree with that. And then on my side, the only piece that I will say and add to is the wanting. That's a piece. So when you want something, you're providing the universe almost a sense of doubt.
Right.
You're not giving it, it's already done. So, and I think that's what the piece and the difference is when people think that they're manifesting a change in their life, they're not manifesting the change. They want it to change,
right,
but you have to accept it's already changed. And that's the piece that I think is missing from a lot of that aspect of it. And then, like you're saying, is the action portion of it. I could sit on the couch and when so many people, oh, you want to do a real estate transaction? I'm not a secret agent. You're not coming to my house. I have to come out and find you, and we have to build those relationships.
Right.
And I've told this to so many people where it's, my business isn't growing and I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, well, what are you doing in your free time? What do you got going on? Well, I'm at home. Okay, well, people are coming to you.
Right.
So how do you expect to change if you're not putting yourself in those positions? And I think another piece where we talked about proximity is putting yourself in these rooms of other individuals that are doing the very same thing. And as much as we think that they're not uncomfortable because they're so used to being in these rooms, everyone has a sense of uncomfortableness that steps in.
Yeah.
And when you get into these rooms and you start networking and understand, and you can see the nervousness as you have it, and it all kind of fades out because you know you're all on the same mission.
Right.
The same mission that what I have seen, and now granted this is what I've manifested and the focus that I have. 99.9% of the people that I meet in the world or in some form of context has the same goal in mind. We all want to help people. We want to see people succeed. We want to help bring people up. Like, the whole concept is not just about us. Yes, we want to go where we're going, but we want to go where we're going so we have others to celebrate with. And I think there's a big taboo piece that's spoken into existence today that says, no, you don't want to be there. That's the devil. But it's not. All the stuff that we're taught about people closing you out, and there's these secret rooms. Yeah, there might be secret rooms, but I can tell you most of the rooms I stand in, and I don't know if this is your experience or not, but most of those people want to put their hand out and they want to pull you up with them.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed that when you go into these rooms and you're uncomfortable, and there might be this quote unquote big dog that you see, and you're like, man, I don't know if he has the time to talk to me, or I don't know if I should talk to him. I don't know what to talk to him about because he probably has so much going on. Those are the people that are willing to give you the hand and be like, yo, like, come do this together. Like,
exactly.
Or they're like, man, I'm actually too busy. Like, I would love to give someone like yourself an opportunity to give myself a little more time to do other tasks, you know?
Yep,
so
100%. That is
definitely agree.
That's the thing where I've tried to get my kids to see the difference in the situations, and just like we were talking about before we got on camera here, was stepping into rooms that you would essentially see in a movie or on TV, where it's full of love, and you got your people giving you hugs, and they might not even know you, but they're giving you the love, and that doesn't happen. It happens. I'm here to tell you that it happens. I've watched it happen every single time that I walk into some of these rooms that I don't even know anybody in, and it's right off the bat, somebody's up, hey bro, I'm so-and-so, give you a hug, give you love, and you're like, this is where it is at.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you create life to be, and the stuff that you're watching on the other side of the screen, as much as you want to say it's not real, it's actually happening. All that stuff comes with influence, it comes with what people have experienced, and it's the delivery. You just have to take what you want, and then it goes back to what we're talking about. You got to put the action in.
Yeah. You got to be in those uncomfortable rooms. I've noticed some of the rooms I've gotten the most benefit out of, or the best time, are those rooms that I was nervous to go into. I was uncomfortable. I was thinking, man, I don't want to go. I don't know if I should go. And then I end up making that decision, and it turns out to be a 10 out of 10 experience, 10 out of 10 connection, new relationship, everything. So it's just...
Well, we can speak on that too, because the last TE event that we went to, nah, man, I'm not feeling it. I'm not good. Listen, I'm going to come to your house. I'll pick you up. Let's make this happen. And then we had a great time.
Yeah.
And that's part of the proximity aspect of it too, where it's getting your people together, because I have the same thing where it's like, listen, man, let's go. If you're not going to go, I will detour out of my way and put an extra hour of drive time on to come and get you to make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's, it's just that encouragement. And being around the right people, it makes a world of difference. If there's one thing that I can say, if you're trying to change where your day-to-day is going and you feel like you're stuck in monotony and you have something more in purpose, change the circle that you're standing in. It's as simple as that. It's going to hurt some people, yes, but you also have to remember you're going to be a Thanos in somebody's story regardless. You're going to hurt people in the process, and it's nothing personal. You have to understand what you're trying to do for your life and where you're trying to take your family and what your goals are, and the ones that get it, they'll come with you. The ones that don't, you don't shame them, you don't slay hate, you just roll with the process, and I think that's a lot of the growth aspect. There is some people that I never thought were going to fall out of my plate, and I'm assuming you have the very same.
I've seen that in my own life, my own journey. Your current environment could be the one and very thing that is keeping you exactly where you are right now. Mm-hmm. And nothing will change until you change your environment, who you're being surrounded with. That is such a and that goes back to proximity and so many other things. It's kind of like an umbrella thing. But your environment and who you're around and who you might lose in that journey, all those are so important.
So what do you think about the alignment of where I touched base on spirit, mind, body, and then obviously environment? We've hit that. What do you think on the sense of, do you think there's a correlation between the pillars of health and the gym side of things or the fitness side of things in alignment with these as well?
Yeah, I think all of those things need to be in line. Exactly like a almost like a domino like line. Each domino, mind, body, spirit, soul, everything else, heart, whatever it might be, needs to be in line. I've noticed in my own life, even up to recently, let's say my body's good one day, but my mind's a little off. Soul's good, spirit's good, heart's good, but my mind's a little off. I'm not going to be at 100%. Like everything about your own self needs to be aligned in order for you to be at your absolute best.
I think that's where we're talking systems. Systems come in play. And the only reason I bring this up, obviously, when we first met, I was a little bit bigger. I've come down a hell of a ton.
You look great.
But it's working through. Yeah. And we've gone through some crossroads together where we've made mention you like to run.
Yeah.
I am not a runner.
Yeah.
But we've had conversation where it's like, okay, look, just for the simple fact of saying I put it out there that I can't run and I don't like to run, now I got to torture myself.
Oh yeah.
So we've done that, but it helps build and it helps continue that cascade. So you're in full agreement, and I'm definitely in full agreement with this. And I know that there are other people that are out there, unfortunately, are saying they're doubting this side of it. But the question that I would ask you is to look in yourself right now, and with what we're speaking on, look at the process that you're going through and tell me how it's working out for you. Because if you're stuck in this constant loop over and over and over again, and you know within that you have a bigger purpose, then what's stopping it from becoming? What's stopping you from becoming the greatest version of yourself? Because I can tell you, probably your alignment. And it's a matter of getting out of your own way, getting into the foundation, seeing and taking a checklist. Is it hard to do? I know when we go into that time, how many conversations have we had based on what's going on, what do we need to do to refine, just taking a checklist of going through our systems that are working, but as you go through it, some of the stuff you started before just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to adapt and you have to change, and it's forever going. But the point of the whole thing we're driving is simply get up and take the action. You can't get into analysis paralysis. If by the time you decide that it's going to be the right time, it's going to be done. You're going to be in with the most expensive place on the planet, and that's the graveyard, where so many people's ideas were amazing and they simply did not take action. Is that where you want to be? Or do you want to be with the rest that are physically pushing you forward? The choice is yours. You won't be wrong in either sense of the term, but I know where I would like to be at the end of my journey, and I'd rather be saying I'm very grateful for what I've built and very thankful for what I've built, the people and the relationships that I've had, rather than walking out and saying, I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, no doubt. And be careful. I love everything about that. I would just add on the analysis paralysis. I've seen that in other people. I've seen it in a little bit in my life where analyzing things too much, thinking you need to have a perfect plan, will literally stop you from achieving it. And sometimes that one little thing that is like keeping you from achieving exactly everything you want is just taking action. Sometimes you don't need to have it all figured out before. Just take the action. There's this thing where people say success doesn't reward planning, it rewards action.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I can feel that big time. And that's, you don't need all of the capital. You don't need all these fancy toys. You have yourself, you have a pen and paper, start the process and get it out. Once you start that, just start doing and moving. Move with purpose. Like, just move. Like, you just got to make it happen. So, anything you want to end this up with?
Let's see.
Well, first off, let's go back to this. Where can you be found?
I can be found at Castro's Official on just about every platform. Let's see. Yeah, Castro's Official on almost every platform.
My man over here does do real estate. Yes, we're promoting one another because without myself, there is no two sides. The chance of me closing both sides of the deal is 1%. That's why we collaborate. Getting ourselves out into the world as a team effort, that's where we're going to win. We want to see everybody else win. So in that, remember, hit him up on Instagram. I'm not sure if he has a Facebook. I have Facebook, but I'm an old guy, so
I got a Facebook. Kevin Castro on Facebook. You can find me. I try to post my engagement sucks on Facebook, but I'm on Facebook all the time.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, this has been your Elite Mindset Podcast. Remember, it's about changing your beliefs, change your life. The greatest version of yourself is waiting. You just have to go out there and execute.